we're starting early today because this should happen once in a while, right? Like we always have something happen on the night of live and couldn't start on time or at time, right on time. So today we started like getting ready a little bit earlier and voila, we're here. So it's 7:59 in Korea p.m. Yeah, of course, it's really dark outside. It's still really cold. It's still winter. And I'm still waiting for some of you or me to join. All right, so. Oh, hi, Zena. 4586. 안녕하세요. 네. 저희 오늘 방송은 사실 대체적으로 영어로 진행이 되는데, 한글로 채팅하셔도 제가 알아보니까 한글로 한번 참여해 주시기 바랍니다. I hope you would join, okay? I understand Korean, so just type in Korean and I'm gonna be fine. Hello, 태연님. Okay. So hopefully more people would join. Okay, I had a long day today, as always. Like on the day of live, we always start early. Like my day, I got my hair and makeup done early in the morning, around 7. Then I had my morning classes, and then we shot some like shorts, like YouTube shorts videos. I had to make it like less than a minute. So hi Tadashi, welcome. Jong-woo, welcome. Tay, hello. So that was really hard. No, just like TikTok, they don't want it to be long. It's got to be like less than a minute, longer than 15 seconds. TikTok used to be like 15 and then they made it to like 3 minutes. Hello, Yi Tian Kwong. Welcome. Thank you for joining the show. So it took a lot of tries to get it right, get things right. So we did about like 15, no, a little less than 15. No. Actually, we wanted to do 15, but we did less than 10. It's tough. And we had to spend like 4 hours to do that. Yeah. So whoever thinks like, YouTube is easier than any jobs, it's not true. Hi, Teiji. Yes. Hello. Thank you for joining. Okay. Actually, Teiji sent me a message earlier yesterday. Yeah, we're friends on Kakao. He said that he wants to join live at the end. Yeah, I give live feedback at the end of the show. So if any of you are interested, we're gonna keep letting you guys know how you could join the live, like how you could join that session. Actually, YouTube doesn't have that platform, so we had to sort of like combine this platform with another platform. And if you guys send in the email, can you like share our email address here right now in the chat room? Then we're going to send you a link, okay? And when you send us your email address, when you type in your email address, we're gonna send you a link, or we're gonna give you an invitation. All right, we're gonna send you an invite, and all you have to do is just click, and you'll be joining that little meeting room, and you get my feedback. All right. Okay, so I think we're ready to warm up, and it's part 1, of course. Oh, okay. All right, I forgot. Like I turned on something I wasn't supposed to. Okay, so this is it. Yeah, this is what I have to turn. What I had to turn on. All right, what I was trying to get it on the screen. Okay, so this is the first passage of part 1, and I'll read it to you slowly. Okay. Thank you for tuning into the Daily Cup of Tea podcast. It's Friday, and as always, we have invited a special guest on our show to spill the tea on what has happened this week. Please welcome a veteran journalist, a published author, and a marketing specialist, Cindy Wagner, who is joining us live at the studio today. Okay, Earlier today, actually yesterday, my friend came over and she stayed over a night. And her name is Julia. I wonder if she's watching today because I told her to do so. But she was interested in taking this test in Korea. She just came back from Amsterdam, and she was interested in what this test is, and she wanted to ask me some tips on how to mark full score on this test. She wants to get full score, like level 8, advanced high level. And that's because, she's been working in a foreign company, a French company, which was based in Shanghai, which is still based in Shanghai for almost like 16, 17, almost like 20 years. So she's been using English for her job for almost 20 years, and she's married to a foreigner. And, she uses English in her daily life. So she wants to know how good her English is. And like the only way to test it is to take like TOEIC speaking test or any other kind like which are similar, like any other kinds of like speaking tests which are similar. And her friend happens to be me. So last night she came over and she asked me for some like tips and advice on how to ace this test. So I told her, first thing that you got to remember is, the pronunciation because she's not a native. She's not native, so she has a little bit of like Korean influence and Chinese influence. And then her husband is Israeli, so Israeli influence all together mixed up. And then she happened to have lived in Amsterdam for about a year or so. So everything's all mixed up in her English. So I told her, you gotta get a grip of your English. You gotta just be able to use. You got to be able to use the right, intonation and stress and everything. Hello, Mao Min. Welcome to the show. So we were practicing that using part one. Actually, part one is a great tool to practice those kind of things, like sound of English, right? So I told her in the beginning to read slowly. Don't go too fast, read slowly. She's a very fluent speaker. She speaks English very fluently, but she's not native, so that's the thing that she's worried about. So when I told her to just read it slowly, this is what she did. Thank you for tuning into the Daily Cup of Tea podcast. It's Friday, and as always, we have. And I was like, what are you doing? And she's like, yeah, you told me to read slowly, so that's what I'm doing. So I'm like, no, that's not reading slow. That's reading like you don't know English. So just speed up a little bit, but not too fast. You guys know what I mean? Not too fast. Like sometimes I speak really fast, right? And you guys have a little bit of difficulty understanding my English. So that's what I mean by not too fast, okay? Slow down, but not too slowly, okay? All right, so Tay, you're saying I can't get score when I need to go three speaking writing exam next month. So you're saying that you've taken TOEIC speaking writing the past twice, and next month it's going to be your third time? Okay, well, let us know a little bit more. Let me know a little bit more on what score you're aiming for, okay? Melanie, you got 170. That's quite high. You got 30 more to go. Okay. All right, so back to my friend's story. So you shouldn't be reading it too slowly, but not too fast. So I would suggest moderate speed. And she's like, but when I read it, even in a moderate speed, I have too much time remaining in the end, and it doesn't feel right. And I was like, yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. It shouldn't be fulfilling the whole 45 seconds because these passages are not that long. And the reason they do that is because they don't want you to read it too fast. They don't want you to read it too fast, okay? So just in a moderate speed. I'll do it once again. Thank you for tuning into the Daily Cup of Tea podcast. It's Friday, and as always, we have invited a special guest on our show to spill the tea on what has happened this week. Please welcome a veteran journalist, a published author, and a marketing specialist, Cindy Wagner. who is joining us live at the studio today. Okay, so I would say this is a moderate speed. Okay. Tay, you said you need 120, 120. Well, to be honest, it's not that high, okay? So if you practice a little bit, if you practice a little bit more, I'm pretty sure you could get that score. 120, I think that's not that hard to get. Okay. And I know how to read some Japanese there. Teitatsu. Is it? Tetaru? Tate? Teta? Is it teta? Tetaru? I'm sorry, I'm trying to read Japanese here. But hello, welcome to the show. And aza. Oh, is that Korean? Like in Korean, we say aza, aja. To say like, let's go, let's do this, let's go for it kind of thing. Like giving cheerful messages. Oh, it's hide. Okay. Welcome to the show. All right, so as I was reading, I found some words quite hard to read, which the first one is veteran. So the word veteran, when you read it in a British English way, it's more like veteran. So you make that hard T sound, which is veteran. But still, the stress goes on the first syllable. So it's got to be veteran, a veteran journalist. Okay, but when you read it in an American English style of way, it would be veteran, and we make that like sluggish, like very like lazy T sound, which is veteran journalist. Okay, well, Hansor, welcome to the live show, and I'm speaking English, but I'm trying to speak English slowly, so please join us, okay? Have a nice time here on the show, practicing your English. Okay, so the first word was a veteran journalist. And the second one there is a published author. And as always, when a word ends with an SH, and it's connected with ED, the ED sound is shortened to T sound. So it's more like published. Okay, so a published author. Hidetaro. Okay, Hidetaro. So you're from Japan. Welcome. Hansor, you got 170 and you're taking a test tomorrow? Oh, by the way, my friend Julia, she's also taking a test tomorrow. That's why she was here yesterday and today. And we were practicing. Like today, before shooting, we were practicing for like 3 hours. She paid nothing. Oh, she's one of my best friends, closest friends, yeah. And the next word I wanted to mention was marketing specialist. Okay, so those 3 words were in order: a veteran journalist, a published author, and a marketing specialist. And then the word veteran, I had my friend read it. Julia read it, and she said veteran, because that's how we read it in Korean. And actually, we have a very famous movie by and the actor Yoo Ah-in stars in that movie. He's in trouble these days for drug issues, but Yoo Ah-in was the starring actor, the main actor of 베테랑. So in Korean, it is 베테랑, but in English, it's veteran or veteran, or veteran. Okay. And the names, I think Daily Cup of Tea, that wasn't so hard, right? Daily Cup of Tea, that's the program's name. And Cindy Wagner, some might say Cindy Wagner, because in Korea we would say Wagner, but it's Cindy Wagner, okay? All right, so those were some words which were hard. Oh, and I got a 940 in the LR test, and I've been practicing SW for 2 months. What score do you think I'll have? Actually, it's really hard to say because listening and reading a score doesn't really correlate with the speaking and writing score. It does have a little bit of help on the foundation of it, but actually, yeah, I can't say. Yeah, veteran actually comes from French. And you know what? I told you Julia used to work for a company, like French company, and I used to work with French people. So we know a little bit of French. And we were guessing if this word, veteran or vétéran, how it would be pronounced in French. And we looked it up. It's like vétéran. veteran. This is how you say it in French. I'm not like 100% like perfectly correct, but veteran, because they don't make that R sound, right? Veteran or veteran is the English way of saying it. If I pronounce somebody's name wrong, will the examiner deduct my points? No, unless you like just like try your best to read the names, like proper nouns, the way that alphabet should sound, right? So, when you're reading this name, you wouldn't say kindy. All right, well, I would say some might say kindy because it's a C word. So like cake, some C is k sound, but it's more like Cindy Wagner. You wouldn't say Cindy Wagner, right? So just follow English phonics rules, and that's all you got to do, right? Just show your best on it, okay? But of course, you won't be able to ace the test. You won't get a perfect score if you won't be able to read like proper names, proper nouns. Okay? All right. Now, before I go on, I'm going to read this for the last time. One last time. Thank you for tuning into the Daily Cup of Tea podcast. It's Friday, and as always, we have invited a special guest on our show to spill the tea on what has happened this week. Please welcome a veteran journalist, a published author, and a marketing specialist, Cindy Wagner, who is joining us live at the studio today. Okay. All right. Now we have uploaded in our chat room the list of names that's gonna be invited to our live session towards the end of the show. Okay, so the first one is Xavier, and second one Teiji. You missed out I in Teiji's name. That's rude. Sorry, Teiji. And number 3 is Han Solo. Number 4 is Kyung-ni Kwa, Kwak Kyung-ni. Okay, and number 5 is Anne and Yu Yuan, right? Okay. All right, now we're going to move on to another passage. This is the second one of the test, okay? And just for your information, guys, I make these test questions all by myself, okay? I have some hints. Like sometimes I take the test, I try to remember everything which was on the test, but you're not supposed to copy it or copy them 100% the same. So I twist it, I change it, I paraphrase it. And like sometimes I don't get to take all the tests that are held in Korea, because in Korea we have 2 tests held every weekend, almost. And during the busy season, during when people are applying for their schools and like promotions and companies, we sometimes like have 3 or 4 tests a week, and I can't take them all. So I like scratch some some kind of clues all over the internet on the like search engines and like Google information. And with those little bits and bytes of information, I, make a new set of tests. I make everything. All right. So this is a second passage. Yep. And let me read it for you. You're watching the evening traffic update on channel 11. There has been a crash on Turnpike Avenue near Danes Boulevard, causing extreme rush hour traffic. It is reported that a large truck, a sedan, and a bus are involved in this accident. Sorry, I'm going to start it over. It is reported that a large truck, a sedan, and a bus are involved in this accident, so it might take a while to clear out the roads. Drivers are advised to take a detour to avoid traffic. Okay, now my effort of trying to read the passage slower or slowly is really challenging for me. Yeah, because I talk fast. I'm a fast talker, and you guys know, and it's really hard to slow down. But after talking to Julia this whole afternoon for a while, it made me realize that when you guys are learning English as a like foreign language, you're not perfect. Now, we're not all perfect, so it's better to like speak slower for the listeners. Yes, Gwen has changed. Okay, so that was the second passage. And here's a question from Julia. She said, you know what? When I read it, I have about like 17 or sometimes even 20 seconds remaining. And I don't know what to do. It feels very awkward, You have to be silent. And the test is going on, and you literally paid tons of money for it, like every single second. So she's like, what should I do? What should I do in order to get higher score? And basically, actually, like for part one, you have nothing more to do because you're done with the task. You've read it once and you just have that time remaining. And it's been designed to have more time because, I told you, people tend to read fast, too fast sometimes. So they want to give you enough time so that you wouldn't have to feel like you're running out of time, right? So, yeah, you don't have to rush, but this is what I do. I read it twice. And Julia's like, but what if like, I get cut off in the middle of the second time? And I'm like, it's fine. It's okay. Because, they know that you finished it once and they're going to listen to your first recording. And of course, the second one they're going to listen to it, but it's like for just like for their information, right? So, it's like as long as you don't mess it up, it's going to be fine, right? So, if you want to feel safe, just read it once and just be quiet. Just stay there until the time's up. Okay? All right. So, this passage again, in a moderate speed. Now, let's go a little bit faster this time. You're watching the evening traffic updates on Channel 11. There has been a crash on Turnpike Avenue near Danes Boulevard, causing extreme rush hour traffic. It is reported that a large truck, a sedan, and a bus are involved in this accident, so it might take a while to clear out the roads. Drivers are advised to take a detour to avoid traffic. Now, as I was reading, I thought that some of you might have questions about reading the words like Turnpike Avenue. Okay, the word avenue might be a little familiar, a little bit more familiar than the other ones. Avenue, it has the first vowel stress, right? First syllable stress. And the next word is Danes Boulevard. Now, the word boulevard might be a little less familiar to you guys. Boulevard, it's the same meaning as avenue, street, road, boulevard. So it means basically a street. So the name of it is Danes Boulevard, like Danes Street, Danes Road. But you read it boulevard. And I'm pretty sure this is also French. And the word extreme, we say extreme sport, extremely, extreme. That has that little like CH sound rather than extreme, like Spanish, extreme, no, extreme. And also the word traffic. When you say traffic, it sounds more like a CH. Not traffic, it's traffic. Don't try to sound like Italian. Just try to read it as English. And truck also, not truck or truck, like most Koreans would say, but truck. And yeah, that's about it. Okay, so Thongvu says, I've seen a lot of your videos, and thanks to that, I've reached my target. Thank you so much. So what was your target? What was your target? What is your score? I'm really excited to share this kind of news. Let us know. What is your score? Really happy to hear. Okay, so I'll read it again. Oh, I'm going to show you. I'm going to time myself. I'm going to show you how like fast I could read it. No, I'm not going to speed up, but I'm going to show you how long it takes to finish the passage and what I'll do to fulfill that 45 seconds. You're watching the evening traffic updates on Channel 11. There has been a crash on Turnpike Avenue near Danes Boulevard, causing extreme rush hour traffic. It is reported that a large truck, a sedan, and a bus are involved in this accident, so it might take a while to clear out the roads. Drivers are advised to take a detour to avoid traffic. You're watching the evening traffic updates on Channel 11. There has been a crash on Turnpike Avenue near Danes Boulevard, causing extreme rush hour traffic. It is reported that a large truck, a sedan, and a bus are involved in this accident, so it might take a while to clear out the roads. Drivers are advised to take a detour to avoid traffic. You're watching. Whoops. I got cut off. All right. Doesn't matter. I told you, right? So that's how you do it. But if you feel like you won't be able to finish the second lap, then just like stop after the first one, okay? Just stop and be quiet. That's it. Just wait. All right. So that was part one. And yeah, let's move on to the one of the exciting parts. Yeah, I think like a lot of you like this part actually. It's part 2, right? The picture. Move to the side of the screen. Okay, so this seemed a little odd because you see a guy, and normally we don't see people from the side, right? We see them from the front, but not from the side. And actually, on the test, you see a guy holding a brochure. But is this a brochure? It's actually a book, right? And we download these pictures from Shutterstock, and when you do it, you have to pay for them. We pay for our like copyrights and stuff. So the picture is a little different from the actual test. But I wanted to show you guys that there is a person holding something, reading something, and sitting down on a sofa or sitting down on a couch. You could say both. Yeah, sofa or a couch. Or you can even say a chair. And there are some empty seats next to him or in front of him. And there are some cushions. And in the background, there are some other objects and things. Well, in this case, I think it's like a kitchen counter. It's a counter, it's a kitchen, it's a small kitchenette, right? There's a sink, I can tell, and there's a cutting board and some other kitchen tools and seasoning like, jars, shakers. But I think this is just, he's just like they've been displayed for this photo. But anyways, like there are some things in the backgrounds, but you don't necessarily have to describe them because you don't have the time to do it. 30 seconds. It's too short. It's just too short. So I doubt it. I doubt that you guys could talk about every element in this picture. So just focus on the guy. And Julia today asked me, so what am I supposed to say? I mean, like, I think this one is the toughest part. What should I do? Like, how should I get started? And I told her, oh, you should start like this. This is a picture taken somewhere. She's like, well, that's a rule. And I'm like, yeah, that's the rule. That's the rule. Gwen tells you to do so. So you got to do it, right? So this is a picture taken in a room. Or if you don't know, if you're not sure where this place is, you could say, this is a picture taken inside. This is like universal rule that we've been talking about, right? Universal like expression. Or you could say, if this is not indoors and outdoors, you could say, this is a picture taken outside, right? This is a picture taken outside. Be simple. Oh, Svin, not seven, but Svin. Overall, this picture looks calm and peaceful. You're right. It looks very calm. It looks very peaceful. It looks like he's having like a relaxing time. What's he reading? He's reading something about 2020. Well, in 2020, nothing so exciting happened. So it must be very calm and relaxing. Okay, so he's reading, he's all relaxing, he's like relaxed, right? So yeah, it's very calm and peaceful. And it's by Lo. This is a picture. Don't say the picture because you're mentioning something for the first time and you say, oh, this is a picture taken indoors and there's a man. Don't say the man in this picture. He has short hair, he's sitting on the sofa and reading a book. He's also crossing his legs and touching. Okay, now I want to fix two expressions there. Now, he's not crossing his legs because when you're crossing your legs, it's more, am I showing it right? Now, what he's doing is he's resting one foot on the other leg or on the other knee. Okay, so he's not exactly crossing his legs. That's the problem. And he's not touching on his chin, but he's touching his chin. He's just touching something. You don't need a preposition. So he's touching his chin. Gwen is touching her hair. She's touching her shoulders. No prepositions. Okay, and he's sitting on the sofa while reading a magazine. Again, when you're saying something for the first time, you should say, he is sitting on a sofa while reading a magazine. He is sitting on a sofa and reading a magazine. Hanjol, how about living room? I think it's a living room too. I think it could be called a lounge. Yeah, I think both are fine. And in the background, I can see some things. Okay, I can see many things. I would propose many things, such as pots, fruits, and so on. Okay, so don't say and so many times because in English, we use and only once at the end of a sentence. So you have to say such as pot, food, and so on. Just use it once. Maybe he's relaxing at home. That's right, Lo. Yeah, maybe he is relaxing at home. I totally agree. And hi, Gwen. First time here in the live class. I got 160 for the first test, but the score dropped in the second time. Hope I can get a higher score next time. Happy to join. Thank you. Wow. You know, your score can fluctuate. It can go up, it can go down, it can go up, and then it goes up, way up. Okay. So the longer you practice or the more you put time in, the better score you'll get. All right. So just practice more. Don't get demotivated. All right. Okay. So I've gotten a lot of expressions here, and I'm going to gather everything up, and then I'm going to put it into one answer. Like what? Listen. This is a picture taken in the living room, and there's one guy in this picture. He has short hair, he's wearing a blue shirt and jeans, and he's also wearing sneakers inside. He is sitting on a sofa, relaxed, and reading a book. He's really focused, and he's also touching his chin. Next to him, there are some empty seats and cushions. In the background of the picture, I can see a small kitchen counter with many things on it. Maybe he's relaxed. Okay. Maybe he's having a good time. Yeah, that's what I was supposed to say. Maybe he is having a good time. But anyways, and one thing about the word relaxed and relaxing, they are two different things, right? When you're saying somebody is relaxed, it's like the feeling that the person or the thing is giving, right? He's relaxed. We can tell that he's really relaxed, right? But when you say he is relaxing, that's an active verb. You're saying that he's doing something at this time. It's a present progressive. So he is relaxing is something that he's doing right now. But when you say he's relaxed, means he has this very laid back vibe. He looks very calm, peaceful, and relaxed. Alrighty, that was the first one. So we have one more. Oh, this got Julia freaked out. She freaked out after this test. I had her take the test, and I was like, "So how was the test?" And she's like, "Oh my gosh, the picture for part 2 was just crazy. What is that thing? What is that? Oh, 구두 닦는 사람." She's Korean, so she speaks Korean with me, and she's like, "Who is that 구두 닦는 사람?" And you mean a shushan boy? We call that a shoe shine boy, but he's not a boy, right? A shoe shine guy. But you could just say he's just cleaning shoes, right? He's cleaning shoes. That's what you have to say. You don't have to have that word. And she was freaking out. Okay, so Hung-chi Huang, you said, is it okay because there's a man sitting on the sofa and he's black? He's okay. Well, first of all, if you're gonna say he's black, then to me you have to say you see a yellow. Okay. Well, when you see a white person, you say he's white. Okay, that is very racist, and we don't normally do that. Okay, it's not good to do that. All right, so just don't mention it. Don't mention the race or the skin color. Why do you have to do so? Just talk about his hair color. You can say he has black hair. Or you can say he has short hair. He even has a beard. There are other facial features or outer looks that you can describe, like blue shirt and blue jeans. Sneakers is what I said. Don't talk about his skin color. Okay? Don't. Okay. All right. And all right. So this picture here. Now, give me some of your suggestions. Give me some expressions that you would like for me to use for this one. The second one. He is cleaning shoes, or you can say he's shining shoes. That's what he's basically doing, is shining shoes. Yeah, that's exactly, yeah. For example, when you see this picture, you have to say, oh, you can see some white people walking the street, and there is a woman, she's white, maybe she's Italian. You can say that. This is a picture taken on the street. Okay, on a street. When we say it for the first time, no the, but a. Svin, the weather is quite sunny. Generally, it seems like a peaceful day in the outdoors. Okay, okay. So, in the outdoor, just say it seems like a peaceful day, and like when if you want to mention something about outside or outdoors, then just put it in the beginning. Just say it's a picture. This is a picture taken outside, right? You could just say that. Okay, and low, this is a picture. Don't say the picture, it's a picture. This is a picture. This is a picture taken in a street or on a street or at a street. Those prepositions are all okay. On the street, at a street, in a street. There are many people in this picture, and on the right, there's a man is sitting on a chair and using shoe. He's polishing. That's a good word too. Polishing shoe service. Okay, what about this? He's getting something. You know, like when we're receiving service, we use the verb getting. So he's getting his shoe polished. He's getting his shoes. That would be plural because he's wearing two shoes, right? Left shoe, right shoe. There are two shoes, a pair of shoes. So you could say he's getting his shoes polished. You're getting his shoes polished. Okay? And can I describe he is polishing? Oh yeah, sure, polishing. Okay, and you could call that a chair. You can call that a stool, right? And don't forget to describe the people in the background because we see a lot of people there. It's not only two of them that we see in the picture. We see so many people in the street, right? Like most of them are walking. I can tell. Oh my gosh, there are some tables in there. Like there are some tables in the middle of those people. Can you see that? And there's a guy actually. I can see his back. He has like really gray, like white hair. And this guy is sitting at the table. And you know, next to him, a very like stylish grandma is walking by. Wow, she's really stylish. She's wearing sunglasses and she has this like, you know, lovely scarf around her. Wow. And maybe this is like either a tourist attraction, like a busy area of the town, or like something like that. Yeah, it's a happening place. You can say it's a happening place, right? Many things are happening here. Okay. So some of them are walking on the street, some of them are looking around, admiring a beautiful tourism place and buying some things, right? Buying, you could say buying something. Buying something. Okay? 한솔, a man on the right. Okay, when you say a man on the right, this is your subject. A man on the right, 이 부분이 주어예요, 주어. 그래서 he를 또 쓸 필요 없어요. A man on the right is your subject in this sentence, so you don't have to say he again as your subject, okay? A man on the right is wearing a black suit and putting his right leg on a holder in front of him. Okay, now putting, like putting, is it's an action verb. We call it an action verb, okay? And when we put something, it's in the middle of something happening. So if he's putting his like right foot on that thing, he should be in the middle of doing that action. But right now his foot is placed on that thing, right? His foot is placed on that thing. So you can't say he's putting it, okay? You can say another man, his shining shoe and wearing a hunting cap. Okay, that's good. Overall, that's good. Maybe they're really happy. Why don't we like separate those two? They are really happy. People are happy and it's a sunny day, right? Lo, you can say it in two different sentences. You can say people are really happy and it's a sunny day. Oh, Yi Tian Kung. I like this sentence. This is a picture with a lot going on. Yeah, it's very casual. Yeah, very spoken English. This is a picture with a lot going on. Heng Chi Huang is sitting on a chair, not on a chair, on a chair, and getting his shoe cleaned by a shoe shiner. Oh, wow, that's good. Everybody look at the sentence given by Heng Chi Huang. He's sitting on a chair. I think that was a typo. On a chair and getting his shoe cleaned by a shoe shiner. Xavier. This is a picture taken in the street, in a street. Again, guys, when you're saying something for the first time, it's never the, it's a. What I noticed first is that there are two men. One is cleaning, the other's leather shoes. Okay. Or you can say it's a dress shoe. A dress shoe or dress shoes. In Korean, like when guys wear suit, they always have dress shoes on. 정장화, dress shoes, dress, dress shoes. Maybe there's a customer paying for the service. Also, I can see, okay, when you say there is, it means something is there, right? I think you were trying to say he is a customer paying for the service. Also, I can see several pedestrians walking in the street. Seems like a city center's afternoon. Seems like a normal afternoon of a city. It seems like a normal afternoon of a city. Or you could say he placed because he already did it. Because he already did it. That's what I'm saying. So he placed his foot on this thing. I don't know what it's called. He placed his foot. I think it's his left foot. Is it right? His foot on that thing. He already did it. So placing something or putting something is an action verb. He should be doing something right now in order to place something. 놓고 있는 중이다. Okay, 놓고 있는 중이다. But he's not 놓고 있는 중이다. He's not like in the middle of that action. So you should say like his foot is on this rack. His foot is on this, like, whatever thing that is. Yeah. Okay, so I think you guys are like thinking a little bit too complicated. Let me give you a simple version of the answer, okay? This is a picture taken outside in a street, and there are so many people in this picture, and many things are happening. In the middle of the picture, I can see two people, and one of them is a shoe shiner. He's sitting down, he's wearing a hat, and he's shining a shoe of a gentleman. And in front of him, the gentleman is sitting down on a stool, and he's looking somewhere else. In the background of the picture, I can see many people. They're walking and passing by, and maybe people are having a good time. Okay, all right, I'm gonna be honest. I think I spent too much time describing these two people in the middle, so I ran out of time to talk about the people in the background. But yeah, but I did mention them. Yeah, if I had a little bit of more time, then I would have mentioned the woman on the left side a little bit more. This woman here with the backpack. Yeah, and I would say I can see her back. Sorry, I can see her back, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen. Moon, I have a question. Is it necessary to conclude in this section, like overall it's a sunny day? It isn't necessary. I'm just giving you a template. And I mean, like, if you don't know, if you don't have any idea on like how to get on with the picture, like where to start and where to end, you can use my template. But if you know what to say, if you have plenty of things to say, then just go with the flow. Just say whatever you want about the picture as long as you are talking about the picture. Okay? And Lo, this is a difficult picture, right? I would say like something like this, I would say it's like a 3-star picture out of 3. No, like I would say 2.5. Yeah, I think like construction site pictures are much harder than this one. Yeah, at least here you're like familiar with everything, right? Like sitting down, walking, trees, street, except for the shoe shiner, right? So out of 3 stars, I would give it a 2.5. It is quite difficult. Yeah, it isn't an easy one. Okay. All right. Now moving on. It's part 3. And in part 3, they ask you about visiting a new city. All right. So we have to visit a new city. Okay. So, having been teaching English for almost like 2 decades, I started, no, it's not almost 2 decades. I started in 2006. So it's like, it's like 17 years, almost 20 years. Yeah, don't guess my age. Right. So, I have made a lot of friends online. That's what I was going to talk about. Like, being having been taught like teaching English for a long time, I have most of my students are Koreans, but like some of you out there, I have some like Japanese like students like Teiji or Tadashi, and I have some people logging in from like joining us from Vietnam, from Taiwan, and even from like some European countries, and even from South America. So like some of these like friends, I would say students or friends, they want to visit me. And actually last year Tadashi visited me and it was really nice. We had some samgyeopsal, the pork barbecue together with soju a little bit. And then Teiji is like, planning to visit me soon this year. So I have like these like great relationships created within this channel, like through Instagram, through YouTube. And I'm planning to visit one of the countries that I just mentioned within this year, and I might be holding a small special lecture there too. Yeah. So anyway, I'll let you know where that is soon. But anyways, it's visiting a new city, right? Visiting a new city, and I love visiting a new city. And actually, I used to live in Shanghai too. I lived there for almost 2 years, and I loved it. It was the good old days. Things were cheap back then, and like Korea being the developing country, like our like living prices were higher than Shanghai back then. So everything in Shanghai was so super super cheap. So I only spent, let's say, almost like $200 like US dollars per month to enjoy literally everything, like bar hopping, cafes, restaurants. I never cooked at home. So it was wonderful living or visiting another city. And I visited like before COVID, I visited like Bangkok, um, at Tokyo. I've never been to Osaka, Teiji. I really look forward to visiting Osaka someday. Maybe within this year with my mom. And to Vietnam. I went to Tana back then. And yeah, so I think you guys have a lot to say about visiting a new city. I mean, in like the global age like this, we all do have, right? So the first question, give it to me, is okay. When was the last time you visited a new city and who did you go there with? Okay, so when was the last time? Now, I can't think of it because to be honest, I bragged about visiting lots of new like cities, other cities, but to be honest, I haven't been out of this country for almost 4 years, 3.5 years. So I don't know what to say about this question. And if I had encountered this question on my actual test, I would be like, Japan, because, and then I would lie about it. And then I would say I went with my friend. So you don't have to be fully honest about what you say for the test or on the test, okay? I'm telling you, you got to be a good liar. And Tay, you asked me if I have, online classes. Yeah, I do, but like only in Korean right now. Yeah. We like our team have has doubts about whether we're going to have a lot of international audience if we have English online classes. So like if you guys are interested, let us know because it takes time, effort, and of course money to create like online classes to make the materials and stuff. So we need to have like like grounded plans before we execute it. Okay? Hello. Well, last month I visited a new city called HCM. Is that Ho Chi Minh? With my friends. I went to many places and ate many local foods such as pho, buncha, buncha. Oh, buncha, I love it. And so on. It's really interesting. Okay, so you said many local foods, but actually food, the word is uncountable. So you have to say many kinds of local food, many kinds. Or you could say many local dishes. That is countable. Many local dishes, okay? So then I visited new city 3 years ago. I visited a new city. Okay, a new city, a new city. I went there with my family because I can share some opinion with them comfortably. Great. Okay. I could suggest an expression like this. I feel comfortable traveling with them. I feel comfortable traveling with them. Okay. Hung Chi Huang. I went to Kaohsiung for the first time with my family last summer, and we went to a lot of places in the city. Kaohsiung is like the southern part of Taiwan, right? Nice. But actually, I went to Kaohsiung every year. I go to, like, if you're doing it every year, it's gonna be I go to, not I went to. Yi Tianquang, at the end of last year, my mom and I went to Venice, Italy. Wow, that was a fantastic trip because Venice is a quiet and beautiful city, which is worth traveling. Wow, is this true? Did you really go there? Oh my gosh, I really, really envy you. Wow. Hmm. Well, yeah. It was great. It was awesome. It was fantastic. Are some words that you could use and you guys know of, right? So you can say those things. Moon, the last time I visited a new city was just a year ago. I was in Malaysia by myself as I prefer traveling alone. Okay, I love Moon's answer. It's really simple. There's not much to it, but it's really, really good. And it has everything. Okay, Moon, I would choose your answer, the best one, for the first one here. Okay, good. Now we're going to go on to the second question. Okay, so when you visit a new city, would you prefer to stay at a hotel or find a place where you could stay with your friends and family? All right, I think, for a question like this, you could always start by saying, it depends. It depends. I have a student, and actually he studied abroad during his like middle school and high school years, and he also went to college in the States. He went to UCLA or something. Yeah, so he's been like exposed to English speaking culture and like environment surrounding for many, 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 many years, right? But he doesn't want to forget English, so he's having like, classes with me. And every time I ask him something, he's like, it depends. It depends. It depends. I'm like, okay, hey, dude, you got to say something. Don't say it depends. Take a side. I mean, is it black or white? Is it left or right? Just say something, choose one. But he's like, it depends. So the question is something like, so what kind of ice cream do you like? It's a simple question, right? What kind of ice cream do you like? You could say, I like strawberry, I like vanilla, I like, right? It's like, it depends. Okay, so here he goes with a long answer again. But you know what? That is a good strategy for this part. Because when you say it depends, you have many, many options to talk about, right? For example, who was that? Like Moon, when you go traveling alone, you could stay at guest houses. It's much easier because they like do everything for you. They even provide breakfast sometimes. And if you're going as a couple, like if you're going somewhere with only one friend, like two of you are going together, it's easier to book a hotel because hotels usually like can accommodate up to two people, right? And if you're going with a family, now it's a different story. Like if you have to book a hotel, you would have to spend tons of money. And this is when people prefer Airbnb, right? Because in this case, you can rent the whole house. I think you can save some bucks by doing so. So it depends. There are so many options. And if you have many options, that's how you say it. It depends. Okay? And Yi Tiankong says, yes, I was an exchange student in Spain last semester, so I traveled some countries in Europe. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I mean, like, I envy you guys who have visited Europe. I mean, I've worked with, French people for 2 years. I worked for a French company for 2 years, but I've never been to France or any European countries. I've only lived in the States. And I visited thanks to my parents. Like, they took me and my brother all over the continent, like all over the States. We went to Canada, like, we went all the way down near Mexico. We didn't go over the borders, but yeah, but never been to Europe. Hey, Salo, I prefer to stay at hotel. Okay, now if you want to say something in general, you have to say, I prefer to stay at hotels. It's the same. Like if you like apples, let's say, you can't say, I like an apple. Okay, you don't like one apple in the world. You like all the apples in the world in general. So you have to say, I like apples. I like bananas. Okay? So you should say, I prefer to stay at hotels because it's really helpful or maybe convenient, right? For example, last month I went to Ho Chi Minh City and stayed at ABC Hotel. Yeah, we love ABC. It's a good brand, right? It's really comfortable, and I was able to be freedom at the hotel. Okay, I was able to feel comfortable at the hotel. I would change that. I was able to feel comfortable at the hotel. Okay, and it was really convenient. I think is the word that you're very convenient and comfortable. Okay. Hu Jing Huang. Well, I prefer to go out and explore the city I visit instead of staying in the hotel, which is a totally waste of time, which I totally agree. Okay. And Sven, I prefer to stay at the hotel at a hotel or at hotels. It's got to be one of these. Okay. Because I can enjoy lots of facilities like PC room. Yes, internet cafes, right? Fitness center, and I can also enjoy the delicious breakfast at the hotel. I would prefer to stay at a hotel because they provide good service and they can keep my private space and time. Also, I can have free breakfast. Oh, you know what, guys? I would choose the Korean guy's answer. Well, I know you guys cannot read Korean, but you know that guy with Korean name, Kim Han-soon. And the answer starts with I would prefer to stay. I choose that as the best answer for the second question. It's simple again, but it provides everything. So I would prefer to stay at a hotel because they provide good services and they can keep my private space and time. Also, I can have free breakfast. And I believe a lot of us love to go to hotels because of breakfast, right? Breakfast buffet. They're one of the best. Azaza, okay. Thank you so much, teacher. Hello, thanks. Okay. Yeah. And I prefer to stay at a hotel because it is convenient. 1 year ago, I stayed at a hotel and there were, because that was 1 year ago, it's got to be past. There were lots of. So it's either lots of or a lot of. They are the same thing. A lot of, lots of. But you have to put A or S to use that expression, right? So there were lots of friendly like staff members, not staff members, fitness center and a business center. So a business center and a fitness center. So anything that is countable, you got to put A in front of it, the countable noun, like apples are countable. One apple, 2 apples, 3 apples, 4 apples, apples with S, okay? And fitness center, business center, they're countable. So you have to say a fitness center, a business center, and a lot of or lots of friendly staff members. Okay. Wow, that was tough. Okay, so that was the second one. Very enthusiastic, everybody. Okay. Have a very good participation today. Really happy. Okay, and the last question is, which of the following activities do you think you must try when visiting a new city? Oh my gosh. Like when I was, whenever I write a test, I, answer them by myself, right? I answer them, I see if it makes sense. And I would go for all three. Eating at a local restaurant you can't miss out on. Shopping in the neighborhood, of course you have to do it, right? You got to go shopping, you got to buy that souvenir. And going on a guided tour, well, this one could be optional. I mean, like these days, there is so much information on the internet, and there are lots of apps. There are a lot of apps. So you can download an app, and there's the audio tour guides. Like, they might be living people, but okay, so I would do all three, but if I must choose one, I would say eating at a local restaurant. Yeah, because I think as a foreign country, a foreign city, I think I visited Taipei the most in my life. I visited Taipei more than like almost 10 times, and whenever I visited Taipei, I had to try out new kinds of food. I mean, you guys have tons of dishes to try out, like so many different kinds of food. Like when you go to night market, I mean, I can spend a whole month at like Taiwanese night market and always go with a new kind of food. So yeah, even now I remember like the smelly, like stinky tofu. I dared myself trying it because I don't have the guts. I was like, oh my God, that smells so much. When I was in Shanghai, I never tried stinky tofu. But then when I tried it in Taiwan, it was softer. Like the smell was less stronger, and it was good actually. It was good. So like whenever see my mouth right now is watering. I like when I think about it, I'm like, oh, I gotta go there and have some stinky tofu. So I think about the stinky tofu, and I think about that brown rice like soup noodle. Like it's noodles, but you like use the spoons to eat it. Call it brown soup or brown noodles. And they used to have oysters inside. That's what I heard, but now they don't. But they're cheap. And then I had like street fried chicken. They were much better than the Korean ones. I'm telling you. Like I'm Korean. I can criticize my own country's menu, but I love Taiwanese like street food, fried chicken. So all those things. Oh, and there was this shop in Taiwan, and like this shop literally fries everything. They fry Oreos. You know, those black cookies with creams inside. Like they fry Oreos, they fry what was that like Kit Kats, they fry everything. Whatever you want, they fry it. And it's like night snack, and there's a long line in front of it, and I went there. So many good stuff. And I love like pearl tea, boba, yes. So like whenever I go like visit a new city, I mean, I'm pretty sure when I go to Osaka, I would do the same thing because they say Osaka has so many great restaurants. Like Koreans go crazy about Osaka's food. Like of course we love Japanese on average, like in normally, but Osaka I heard have very good restaurants. Okay, so here goes the first answer for the last one. Low. Actually, I'd like to try new things, especially I'd like to try new food. Recently, I went to Ho Chi Minh and there were there's gotta be S, or a ton of. It's the same with a lot of or lots of. So it's gotta be a ton of or tons of dishes. And it tasted, because it's past, wasn't it? So it tasted really good. It tasted really good. Oh, Yi Tian Kwang, I met some Korean exchange students in Spain and they really wanted to go to our night markets. Yeah, I think we love night markets. Like we used to have lots of night markets in Korea, but I don't know why, but like the whole city government, especially in Korea, wants to make things modern. And they're getting rid of these night market districts. That's a pity, right? It's so pity. So, it's I mean, like Dongdaemun. I know you guys all know Dongdaemun. It's like the fashion district. They used to have a lot of like night market districts, but now it's getting smaller and smaller. And especially after COVID, I think like most of those night merchants, they closed down. They went out of business. Yeah. And Hung Chi Huang, when I studied in Paris for a year, the worst thing was I need to say goodbye with my favorite food in Taiwan. I know. Like Taiwanese food, they're the best. I think one should try eating at a local restaurant when visiting a new city because it is something that you can find only in that specific country. Moon Moon, I love your answer again. Sven, I think that I must try going on a guided tour when I visit a new city because I can have a new experience and expand my view so that I can develop my value. Mm, I can yeah, well, you can learn more things. Actually, when you go on a guided tour, you can learn about their culture, their history. You can hear stories about like what was behind the scene, right? I think that's what you're trying to say, Sven. Okay. I like Moo Moon's answer again for the last one. Yeah, great. Okay, so I'm gonna show you my answers. Oh, okay, one more. This is for the last one. I think that I must try to eat at a local restaurant when visiting a new city because different places have different wonderful food, and I haven't tried all of them. This is another great answer. And this is another great answer. Guys, you guys are so good. It's surprising. Really. Okay, so this is the first one. Mine. When was the last time you visited a new city and who did you go there with? Actually, I visited a new city called Da Nang like 4 years ago, and I haven't been to Vietnam, and that was like the first place that I visited in Vietnam. I went there with my family. It was a family trip. It was great. We went up to the mountains, and it was fun. Okay, well, this is true. It was a family trip, and it was like 6, 7 years ago, back when I was younger. But yeah, there was like some amusement park on the top of a mountain. It was fun. Yeah. Okay. And second one, when you visit a new city, would you prefer to stay at a hotel or find a place where you could stay with your friends and family? Normally, when I visit a new city, I go there alone, or sometimes I would take my like just one friend with me. So we would prefer to stay at a hotel because it's convenience to stay at a hotel and it's clean and you can have free breakfast. So overall, it's better. All right, and the last one for 30 seconds. This is quite challenging. Okay, so which of the following activities do you think you must try when visiting a new city? All right. I think eating at a local restaurant is definitely what I must try when visiting a new city. For example, when I visited Da Nang, Vietnam, I tried like Vietnamese food like pho's and wraps, and they were so good. They were unlike the ones that I tried in Korea. So they were very authentic. And when I visited like Taiwan for the first time, Taipei, I ate Taiwanese food and they were amazing. And not only do I eat their food, but I could learn about the culture, the history and background, so it's meaningful. Oh, that one too. Like when you eat the food, you hear the stories of the food, the background of the food, where it's coming from, the historical like facts about the food, and I think that's also amazing. Yeah. So like those kind of things. Like one very easy fact about Vietnamese food is that you guys use lots of like, rice as the ingredient, right? You use rice paper, rice noodles. And when I visited, Vietnam, there were tons of rice fields. And it was like you guys harvest rice like 4 or 5 times a year. In Korea, we harvest it only once a year. Am I right? Is it twice a year? But anyways, in Vietnam, you guys harvest like rice more than us, right? So that's why you have plenty of rice to like cook. So you guys got like rice noodles and rice paper, and we don't, right? So those kind of things, that's very interesting. And food does have those like geological like factors included. Wow. Okay. All right, so now we're going to talk about universal designs. I'm going to move here to this side. Okay, I'm going to give it a little time. Let me have some sips for my coffee. Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah, that's what my tour guide told me 4 times a year. Mhm. I know more. That's because I went on a guided tour. And this guide, he used to work in Korea. So he made tons of money working at like, a Korean company in Korea. And he gathered all that money and he went back to Vietnam and he became a tour guide. And this guy's already like quite successful, I think, wealthy enough. He bought a house there after working in Korea. But he wants to do something, right? And he was a young guy. I think he was in his 30s, something, late 30s. So he became a tour guide and he spoke Korean so well. So he described many things about like historical backgrounds between Korea and Vietnam, how we used to be enemies, right? And but like Korea apologized. And then he told us about like how French culture has influenced a lot to Vietnamese culture, and that's how you guys have that. Oh, my favorite banh mi, the sandwich, the baguette, and like localized sandwich. Love it. Those kind of things. Yeah, I really love eating whenever I go somewhere. I just gotta like you try them and hear the stories behind it. Okay, so are you guys studying this chart? I'm giving you time. It's the universal designs. Okay, it's not like name that matters, but anyways, the company's name is Universal Designs, and it's their job interview schedule, right? Job interview. And they're having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 interviews. And there was the 6th interview, right? There were 6 interviews scheduled, but one has been canceled. We know what to say for that, right? One has been canceled, or you could say one of them has been canceled, or you could say the last one has been canceled. You can see the place is main conference room, and it's going to be held April 15th, Tuesday. And there's a reason why I put the word TUES in a bracket, because, I want you guys to find out that, in English, the order is Tuesday, April 15th, right? Not April 15th, Tuesday. And the time, applicants, the names. The names are Fred Wilson, Mike Jones, Ann Brown, Melinda Johnson, Daniel Lee, and Eliza Taylor. You wouldn't have to mention that name, but that's the last one. So as long as you read it something like that, so we're near those like sounds, it's fine. And the positions are product manager, design specialist, receptionist, sales assistant, another receptionist, and product manager. Okay? And you see in the column where it says experience. Now, some people have experience, but some people don't, right? So you have to say Design Hub 4 years. That would mean like, oh, for this part, it's better you use present perfect. For example, like Fred, he has worked at Design Hub for 4 years. Mike Jones has worked at Hatchers for 7 years. Ann Brown has worked at Modern Design for 2 years. Belinda has no experience. Daniel has no experience. But like Eliza Taylor, she has worked at Fundamental for 5 years. Okay? Now, this is because like when you talk about the length of the period, normally you have to use present perfect. And in Korean, that would be 현재 완료. 과거에 시작해서 여기 몇 년 동안 일했다. 현재 완료. Right? It means that you have worked for like some duration of time. So yeah, that's what you have to say. And here goes the first question, everybody. Where will the interviews take place and what time will the first interview start? That's your first question. Where will the interviews take place and what time will the first interview start? And share with me your ability on using correct grammar for this part. Like you gotta have like great grammar for this part. All the verbs gotta be right, the prepositions gotta be right, Okay, so where will the interviews take place and what time? Where? Where will it take place? Where? And what time will the first interview start? Okay, Savin. The interview will take place in the main conference room and the first interview will start at 9 a.m. So please don't forget it. That's perfect. There's nothing to say about that. Okay? It's only that you didn't start T with a capital T. That's it. And you didn't put the period at the end. That's all I gotta say. Well, but when you're talking, it doesn't matter. So that was a perfect answer, Savin. Good. Anybody else to share another answer? Oh, Hansol, the Korean guy. The interviews will be held in main conference room and the first interview will start at 9 a.m. Now, Hansol, one thing that I would like to add to your answer is like in front of main conference room, there's got to be the. The interviews will be held in the main conference room, right? Okay. Because that's not a proper noun. It's not a proper noun name. It's a main conference room. So you would say in the main conference room. Lo, well, the interview will take place in the main conference room and it will start at 9 a.m. Please keep that in mind. That was a perfect answer, Lo. The interviews. But Lo, you have to say the interviews because there are 5 interviews in total. It's not just one interview. Okay? So the interviews, it's got to be plural with an S. Will take place in the main conference room and the first interview will start at 9 a.m. So please keep that in mind. And that was perfect. Hung, the interview will start from 9 in the morning at the main conference room. Well, Hung, it's got to be in the main conference room. Normally, you use at as a purpose, location, like to indicate a location when it's a building, when it's the name of a company, when it's a hotel. But when it's like a little room, we say in the meeting. Can I add like, hi, thank you for calling at the beginning? No, it's unnecessary, Moon Moon. It's really unnecessary because I know like first question, you don't have much to say. Like you only talk about the place and you only talk about like the starting time of the first interview. But I would say something else than saying, hi, thank you for calling, those kind of things. I would rather add something like this. Okay. Guys, I'm going to show you my answer for the first one. Listen to what I do. Where will the interviews take place? And this is from somebody who always gets perfect score on TOEIC speaking. So you got to listen carefully, all right? Where will the interviews take place and what time will the interviews start? All right, well, according to the schedule, the interviews will take place in the main conference room on Tuesday, April 15th. And the first interview will start at 9 a.m. and it will finish at 9:30 a.m. You will interview Fred Wilson. Okay, so what I did was I provided more information regarding the first interview. Okay, so when I'm teaching speaking, a lot of you have this fear of talking in English, right? And of course, this is an expensive test. You got to spend like $100 US dollars on like this one-time test, right? So everybody, a lot of you are asking me, oh, Gwen, is there something I can say to fulfill the time? Even Julia said the same thing. Like, is there something that I should say, like, to all the answers so I could, like, ask for more, like, scores? Should I beg for, like, more higher score? Should I say, oh, please, I'm taking this test because I need to get a promotion or I need to get a job? Will they give me a higher score? And I'm like, no, that's not how it works. There's a system, there's a law, there's a rule, so that's not how it works. So just show them you know how to like give an improvised answer using like information that you're given. Don't say, hello, this is Gwen speaking, how may I help you? Like thing that could be copy and pasted is not going to get you score. Moon, okay? And Ms. Gwen Lo says, I did the test 2 times. I took the test 2 times. You have to say, I took the test. Writing score is good, but I had trouble doing speaking tests with background sound and microphone. Could you give me some advice? Oh, what kind of background sound are you talking about? Because normally we wear like this headset and like normally the sound is totally blocked. So I never like was interfered by like other people talking. But I know some people were interfered by me. Because like when you're in a room full of people and most of you like aren't good, you're like, oh my gosh, it's not only me who can't speak English. So it's so fine. It's good. I'm doing okay. But then there's like one woman like me who's like talking confidently in English and she's like giving the best possible answer. And she's like, oh, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm doomed. Like, who is this woman and why is she talking so confidently and loudly? And it's like so annoying to hear me. I know that could happen. Um, this is one thing. This is off the record, okay? So 2 things I recommend. I tell my students. Oh God, I have something in my. Oh, there were many people speaking at the same time. That's what you're saying. Speaking at the same time. Well, just focus. That's one thing I'm telling you. And number 2, like, they have 3M, they have those like soft plug-in earbuds. It's for you to focus during like, study sessions. And even like for some people who have a hard time falling asleep, they wear those like spongy earbuds, like they put them inside. I told my students, like some of like my students who had the same problem, I told them it's not like really it's like only $1 or $2 when you go to a dollar store. So buy one pair of those and put them in your ears before you put on the headset. And you can block the noise. And that might help you, but I don't find it necessary if you could focus. Yeah. And I don't know. Like sometimes I tell my students like a glass of wine could help you, you know. Because I don't know why, but like a glass of wine, if you are okay with drinking, but normally you take the test in the morning, right? So a glass of wine could relax you, not a lot, but just like a glass, half a beer. So maybe that could help you. Well, I'm not like, suggesting, not suggesting. I'm just saying, even cannot hear your voice. That's not a big deal. You could not even hear your voice. I think, well, during your like testing set, like before we start the test, there's like a testing session where you could test the devices. And oh, okay. Now, like one of my like members here, like saying that you don't have tests so often, so there are so many people taking the test at the same time. That's the reason. My God. You know what? I'm gonna write a letter to ETS for you. I'm gonna say, this is what's happening in Vietnam. I'm gonna send this letter and I'm gonna like, give like, I'm gonna submit proper like request form. Okay? I'll do that. And I'll show you an evidence. Really, really, I'll do it. I swear. And I'm gonna post it on our like, the YouTube community. Okay? I will ride my motorcycle to take the test. Motorcycle. Okay. All right. You got to tell me more about this. All right. Now, the second question. I was told that there are two applicants who are applying for the product manager position. Is that right? Okay, I'm going to read the question again before I read what Tay is saying. I was told that there are two applicants who are applying for the product manager position. Is that right? Okay, I was told that there are two applicants who are applying for the product manager position. Is that right? Okay, so meanwhile, you guys work on the answers. Okay, Tay, you said something about I can hear my heart sound in test. Okay, this is exactly what Julia said today. She's like, my heart is pounding. I can hear my heart beating even now. That was like after the test and we were having lunch. She's like, oh my gosh, aren't I blushing? I'm like, her face is all red and all warmed up. I'm like, hey, cool down. It's just a test. It's not like your life is ending. And she's like, oh my God, this is a mock test. And what if this is a real test? I'm gonna die. And I told her, I really told her, go to the, when you go to a pharmacy in Korea, there's something called 우황 청심환. Now, this 우황 청심환 is like, it's a pill. It's a kind of pill. It's like you have to take these mini bite-sized pills, like really, really small pearls, and they help you calm down. Is it? Is it 우황 청심환? Right? Like, yeah, I'm talking about the right thing, right? And when you take these or they have it in drinks, you feel calm. So I told her, go to the pharmacy, get those, and take them in the morning of the test, and it's gonna help you calm down. So I'm pretty sure your country should have something similar. Okay, if you cannot drink. Yeah, I was joking. I'm not like serious about wine. No, I'm not serious about wine, really. But I'm serious about this like calm down like medication. It's not like you go to the doctor, but it's like you can buy it from a convenience store. Guys, did you listen? Did you listen to my second question? Did you hear my second question? I was told that there are two applicants who are applying for the product manager position. Is that right? Yeah. I was sitting crisscross applesauce and bumped my ankle chair. I'm sorry, Sven, you have the wrong information. Okay, it's you have the wrong information. And there were supposed to be 2 interviews for the product manager position. The product manager position. But the interview at 3 p.m. has been canceled. So everything for your answer, Sven, is right, except you have to say have the wrong information and for the product manager position. Okay, so 2 of those are missing. No, actually, there were 2 interviews, but one of them has been canceled. I think that was a typo. And so you just interview only one person at 9 a.m. And you will just interview. Zaza, 수고 많으셨어요. Bye-bye. I'll see you next time. Eugene, I'm sorry, but it's not true. The interview with Eliza Taylor for the product manager position. Okay, you have to add the product manager position. You have to add 2 words there. Has been canceled. Moon, that is incorrect. The second applicant for the product manager position has been canceled. Now, you wouldn't say applicant has been canceled, but the interview has been canceled. The interview has been canceled. So there will be only one person applying for the position or interviewing for the position. Actually, no, you got the wrong information. The interview at 3 p.m. has already been canceled and there is only one applicant left. You will interview him at 9 a.m. Now, for this answer, I think Anne Nguyen so far has the best answer. Okay, guys? Anne. Hung Chi Huang, well, we do have 2 applicants. No, we don't. We don't have 2 applicants. We have only 1 now. So you got to explain that. Hung. Hansol, actually, no, there were 2 interviews. However, 1 interview has been canceled, so only 1 interview is scheduled at 9 a.m. Hansol, this Korean guy's answer is good too. Azaza, bye-bye. And Eugene, thank you. So, no, actually, there were 2 interviews for the product manager position. Remember, the and position, 2 words go together. But one of them has been canceled, so you just interview. You will interview only 1 person at 9 a.m. So just leave out the word just and just use only. So you will interview only 1 person. Okay, so we're done with that part, I think. No. That isn't true. Like, we have the last question. Sorry. The last question. Can you tell me about the applicants who are applying for the receptionist position? Okay, that's the last question. Can you tell me about the applicants who are applying for remember, receptionist position? You got to remember to add both words. Can you tell me about the applicants who are applying for the receptionist position? Can you tell me about the applicants who are applying for the receptionist position? Receptionist. Okay. So one last question for this part. Can you tell me about the applicants who are applying for the receptionist position? Gosh. Unbelievably, I've been calculating some hours. I've been talking since 8 a.m. today till now. So it's like almost 14 hours nonstop talking. There wasn't a moment where I stayed quiet the last almost like 14 hours. And I can feel a little bit of pain in my throat. It isn't that hurting. Still, I've been talking for 14 hours. Talker. Sven, there are 2 applicants who applied for the receptionist position. First is Anne Brown. His work, Anne, the name Anne usually is for women. So she has worked at Modern Design for 2 years. Her interview will start at 11 and finish at 11:30. And second is Daniel Lee, and he has no experience. His interview will start at 2 and finish at 2:30 p.m. Now, Sven, I would like to correct one thing. It's about like how Anne, the name Anne Brown is a woman. It's a woman's name. It's a female name, so it's got to be she. And Danielle, or Danielle is Danielle or Daniel is more like a likely to be a guy's name, so it's got to be he. But you could also say you will interview Anne Brown or you will interview Daniel Lee. You will interview because this person is the interviewer. Okay, so you can say you will interview Anne Brown or you will interview Daniel Lee, and he is applying for the receptionist position, or she is applying for the receptionist position, or even the better way would be both of them. Both of them are applying for the receptionist position. Then you wouldn't have to say it twice. Okay? Okay, and I see Lo's answer here. Ying. Okay, Ying. The applicant of the reception is Daniel Lee and Anne Brown. Applicants, there are two. So applicants for the receptionist position are Daniel Lee and Anne Brown. Now, Ying's answer tend to shorten it too much. Okay, can't shorten it that much. So there are two interviews. First, you will interview Anne Brown at 11 a.m. Second, Ms. Daniel Lee. It's not Ms., it's Mr. Daniel Lee will be interviewed, okay, at 2 p.m. These interviews are really important, so please keep that in mind. There are two interviews. Okay, I think Lo's answer is the best among all of these. You could also say these interviews are very important, so please keep them in mind because it's not only one, but it's two. So please keep them in mind. But normally we just say, please keep that in mind as like a reminder. So that's okay too. All right, so we have to go on to the live feedback session. So I'm going to quickly move on to the next part, which is part 5. It's the last one. Okay, back to the center. Anne said, there are two applicants. The first one is Anne Brown. You will have an interview with her at 11 a.m. She has already had 2 years experience in modern design. Not in, but at. Okay, it's a company name, so you would rather say at. And the second one is Daniel Lee, and you will meet him at 2 p.m. He has no experience. Okay, well, Anne Nguyen's answer is also great. Please refer to her answer too, his answer. Okay, now this is the last part, the last question of the day, which is, do you prefer to keep your old clothes or books that you don't use anymore instead of getting rid of them? Why? Well, it was a new kind of question, actually. Like when I saw this question, I was like, what the, it's not like the thing that TOEIC speaking, ETS would normally ask, right? So do you prefer to keep your old clothes or books that you don't use anymore instead of getting rid of them? Why? Well, personally, I had an issue. I had an issue with this matter. Not this year, but like 2-3 years ago, like when COVID started, in the beginning of COVID era, like I was staying home most of the time. Most of us were staying home, right? And when I was home, like before that, like I would be always outside. I would be working. I would be busy outside. So I never thought about like things that I have in my house. But then when I, got to spend more time at home, I was like looking at the bookshelves, looking in the closet. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, why do I have so many things that I don't use anymore? Like clothes that I used to wear like 10, 20 years ago. Things that I used to have like when I bought like when I was a teenager. So I decided to get rid of everything. Not everything. Like it's not like my house is empty, but I decided to get rid of those old stuff and go minimal. Like on YouTube, there used to be that whole minimalism concept. Minimalism. Yeah. So I still do have a lot of things in my home, but I got rid of all those old things. And, at first I've had this sense of attachment, and I saw some videos of this like Japanese lady who got really famous just for giving tips on how to order things in home. homes, like at houses, like how to organize and get rid of things. This lady got really huge in America and she has books also like published in English. So I watched all her videos. And what she said was like, you have, for example, I don't know why, but I have this. I have a weight here. And you feel some kind of an attachment to this thing. And you're like, oh my gosh, this is mine. I don't want to get, then don't get rid of it. This is what she said. Literally, this is what she said. But if you don't feel or have any feelings with that object, just get rid of it. So at first it sounded ridiculous. I mean, I have a feeling for an object. Why? But then I started doing it and I'm like, okay. And she also suggested that if you can't get rid of something, make a box, put it in the box, and after like a month or two, or even after a year, you still haven't used any of them, get rid of the whole box. And that's what really happened. So now I have more space, more room. I like a little bit of emptiness now. And I feel like I got rid of like some like old badges. So I think it's much better for me. But now I have to put this in like 1 minute answer, right? Oh, you want to see my muscle? Yeah. I have that little like figure, like an action figure. I'll show it to you. Hold on. Okay, let me go up. Mm, okay, well, in my opinion, I prefer to keep old clothes or books. There are several reasons to support my opinion, and most of all, not most of them, it's most of all, it's helpful. For example, actually, I'm a student. Svan said, if I keep old clothes or books, I don't have to buy new ones. If I save my money on them, I can save my money on other important things. What's happening? Like watching movie or eating food. Secondly, by wearing old clothes and reading old books, I can remember the memory of my childhood. I can be happy by remembering my childhood memory. Okay. Savannah, you're giving some real, like, real reasons. That's good. But why don't you try to give an example? Yeah. Like if you really have an object, like the weight that I was showing you, like your clothes, your sweater that your mom bought you when you were a child. I have to work as a part-timer. I have to work part-time is what you can say. I have to work time to get money. So I try to save money to many activities like eating, learning. I use the old things to support the other people. I use old things. That's something that you do. Then it's not used. I use. It was really meaningful, and that's why I think so. Okay. I'm still waiting for more of your answers. Okay, the thing is this. Julie and I also had another conversation about this question. And she was like, I mean, this is something we all think about, but it's really hard to say. And I asked her, so what did you say? Did you say you prefer to keep them, or did you say you don't prefer to keep them? And she said, of course I prefer. I never throw things away. And, she's like complaining like how she couldn't get rid of like old stuff and things. So I was like, that is what you want to say. And that's the reality of most people. But the thing is, it's easier to say that you like to get rid of everything. Okay? So the thing is this. Here, we're here to talk about how to obtain, how to get higher score on TOEIC speaking, right? And if you want to get higher score, you got to speak more. And if you want to speak more, you got to go for the easier option. And the easier option is get rid of everything. Okay. Yeah, I got rid of my old clothes. I got rid of my old books, my middle school books, my high school books, my college books, because, I don't need them. I don't see them anymore. And they were just piling up in the corner of my room, and they were like, there was dust everywhere. So I got rid of them. Is easier way of fulfilling that 1 minute. Okay. So guys, I will show you two versions of the answer. I normally do I do it normally, but like yeah. First of all, if I say I get rid of everything, Well, I do not prefer to keep my old clothes or books that I don't use anymore because, it takes up a lot of room. For example, 3 years ago when COVID started, I stayed home a lot and I, spent more time at home. So I wanted my place to look better. So I tried to organize things in my room, in my house, and I got rid of a lot of old clothes and books. And now I have like two empty rooms and they're very spacious. And whenever my friends come over, we can have a party in that room and have a whole room. Like it's like basically a walk-in closet, but I don't have lots of clothes inside, but still there's plenty of room inside so I can change, I can dress myself, I can put makeup on in that room. So I can enjoy more space in my house. So I prefer to just like get rid of my old clothes and books whenever I can. Is like the first thing I talked about, right? But the second thing, the second option, like most of you are saying, I want to keep. I want to keep things. I prefer to keep my old clothes or books that I use, even if I don't use them anymore, because there are several reasons to support my opinion, but most of all, I think it's worthwhile. I don't want to waste money. I can save money if I keep them. For example, I love clothes, so since I was a teenager, I've been buying lots of clothes. And in my closet, I have so many clothes. I have like 20 pairs of jeans and have like 100 pairs of shoes, but I never got rid of any because somehow I wear my old clothes once in a while, and if I don't have to buy new clothes, then I could save that money, and with that money I can do something else, like I could eat out with my friends, I could go to movie theaters and buy something else for my hobbies and stuff. So I prefer to keep old stuff and piled it in my house and like use them once in a while is the other option. So you got to choose one, either one out of the two, but I would say getting rid of them is an easier one to say. Okay, buy a new one. Yes. All right, so finally the time has come for us to meet. Okay, we've got about 20 minutes. Now, I hope to have as many of you as possible on the show to give you live feedback. And the first person on the list is, we're going to have, what's it going to be? It's going to be Teiji? Okay, now the whole screen is gonna switch. I told you that we're gonna be using a different platform. So for a while, just for a while, you won't be seeing my face, but I'm still here. We're in the process of changing this whole system, having like the other system get on with YouTube. And I'm here, don't worry guys, I'm not leaving you. And we're gonna have you guys come on the show live. And I think it was Teji or Xavier on the list who's going to be the first on the show. And hold on a second. I'm going to be appearing. 3, 2. No, it's not happening. It's not happening. It's not happening. No. Okay. All right. No, I'm here. But like we're trying to have like a person. Hey, I'm back. Yep. So we're trying to have a person come up. It's going to be Xavier first. Xavier and Teiji is going to be the second in line. And we just sent you an email invitation, Xavier. And if you're still there, click on that link and you'll be joining the room right away. And if Xavier doesn't come up on the show, come into the room, we're going to have Teiji come in. I'm pretty sure Teiji is like queuing right now. Yeah. Okay. So we're waiting for Xavier. If he doesn't or he doesn't show up, we're gonna have Teiji come up. Get ready. Okay. And whoever comes up is gonna be reading the first passage. Why is it 45 seconds and 08? Why isn't it like 45? It's weird. It's normally like 40 seconds. All right. Oh my gosh, is it Xavier?
One.
Okay, well, good
uh,
evening.
Good evening.
Okay, how are you doing tonight?
I'm great.
Okay, so how
Thank you.
long?
And you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. A little bit tired, but I'm doing good. Okay, so how long have you been studying TOEIC speaking?
I spent, I think, 1 year and I have an issue that I struggle stuck in
Oh,
a 500, 150 course
uh-huh.
for 1 year. So
Okay.
I want to get some process.
Okay, so what's your goal?
I go, I think at least 170.
Oh, 170. Okay. So Xavier, can you introduce a little bit about yourself? Because I want to observe like why you're struggling with like your score. Can you introduce a little bit about yourself?
Okay, I'm in a pharmacy in Taiwan, and
Mm-hmm.
I started to have some tests in 2020,
Mm-hmm.
and I get a TOEIC score and TOEIC listening and reading score at
Mm-hmm.
960,
Mm-hmm.
and I got a TOEIC speaking and writing
Mm-hmm.
at 150 and 180.
So you got a higher score on TOEIC writing, but speaking is lower.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I think one of the reasons is because you have to speak more clearly. Okay. So, like what I'm doing right now, try to speak slower, but try to speak clearly by opening up your mouth widely. Okay. This is what I'm trying to do to show you an example. Okay. So, it doesn't have to be fast, it's just got to be clear. You got what I'm saying? You understand?
I understand. Thank you,
Okay.
Gwen.
All right. So if you want to really practice it that way, one of the things you could do is you can like use a pencil or a pen on your desk. And when you're practicing, not right here right now, but when you're practicing, you could just like sort of bite the pencil like this and then try to read. Thank you for tuning into. Okay. And when you do this, it helps you improve your pronunciation. It actually does.
Okay.
So while you're practicing, you bite the pencil or pen, but when you're actually like recording or something, then you take off the pen and pencil and just like do it. And it's gonna make you widen up, like open up your mouth more widely. You got it?
I got it.
All
Thank you.
right.
I will.
Now,
I will note that.
all right. So being reminded, remember to open up your mouth and try to read this passage. I'm going to listen to you, okay?
Okay.
All right, go.
Thank you for tuning in to the Daily Cup of Tea podcast. It's Friday, and as always, we have invited a special guest on our show to spill the tea on what has happened this week. Please welcome a veteran journalist, a published author, and a marketing specialist, Cindy Wenger, who is joining us live in the studio today.
Okay. So Xavier, like I said, again, you got a little bit too fast towards the end, right? So that is why you were saying Cindy Wagner or specialist, you were sort of like, mumbling for those words. So
Yep.
slower and clearer is what you got to think. And remember, I told you about part one, you have plenty of time. Okay? You're never running out of time for part one. And you do sound quite fluent. But if you want to get a higher score, you got to slow down. Okay? So it's not only
I,
about
I,
part one.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's my problem
Yeah. And
to
one
get
more
improved.
thing, Xavier, do you have any foreign friends that you could talk in English to?
No, but I usually have some study
Okay.
practice English,
Okay.
and I try to use I think the Cambly
Okay.
to talk to the foreigner.
All right. Now, whenever you talk to somebody, it doesn't have to be foreigner. It could be the same Taiwanese like, who are studying English together. Just try to speak with your mouth wide open and a little bit slower. You need to slow down. Like try to have them understand what you're saying. Don't just like, talk like with speed. I think this is what you have to work on. Like what I'm doing. I'm trying to speak slower so you can have a better understanding. Okay?
Okay, thank you, Gwen.
Okay. So next month, if I have a chance, I would like to see you again. Or maybe you should graduate and get score before that time.
I hope
Okay.
so. Thank
All
you, Gwen. Really
right.
appreciate it.
Okay.
Really
Have a great
appreciate
evening. Bye-bye.
it. Bye.
Mhm. Okay, so that was Xavier. And of course, next on is Taiji. Yes. And Taiji is going to be reading the second passage. Okay. Yeah, I want to have the second passage read by Taiji, and we're waiting for him to join the show. Okay, so that was the second passage. So guys, I see a lot of you feel like when you speak, like when you read English faster, or when you like say English faster, you might sound more fluent, but the more important thing is to like have a clear pronunciation. Okay, so what I was telling Xavier was that his English is quite fluent. When he was reading, I could tell that he has a great understanding in English, but the thing is his sound, it has got to be clear. Okay, so that's why I was telling him to use a pen or pencil and try to speak with your mouth open more widely. Okay, and try to speak slower, like what I'm doing when I'm on the show. Okay, and I try my best to speak slower and open up my mouth widely so you guys can check the pronunciation and everything. So this is what I want like Xavier to do, and this is what I want most of you guys to do, to open up your mouth widely. Okay. All right, Taiji, we're waiting. Yeah, but if we can't have Taiji on the show, we shall have the next person on the list, which is Han Solo. Okay. So Han Solo, the email address is masarupunk218218, and the invitation has been sent. So please, oh, Teiji's on. Okay, Teiji's here. Great, Teiji. Okay, I think it took a while for Teiji to log in. Okay, Teiji, are you there? Can't see your face. Gotta see your face. I think the connection is really weak right now. That's why. Okay. This is the thing about internet. It's not yet so stable, right? We have all these technologies to be used. Oh, okay. So who is it? Can't see the face. Oh, Teiji! 안녕하세요. 건방와. Can you hear me, Teiji? Oh. Teiji, it seems like the internet connection is bad today. Yeah, from Japan. Can't actually like your like screen is breaking up. The video is it's fine, and then it's breaking up, having a bad reception. But I can't hear you. I can see your face, but I can't hear you right now. I'm checking if it's okay. I'm checking if the internet is okay. Oh no, okay, I lost Teiji. I'm checking. Now, this is so nervous. Like this session is, I get so nervous during this session all the time. Han. Okay, Han Solo. Masaru Punk. We sent you an invitation. Oh, Teiji's back on. Teiji's back on. We're gonna try again. We're gonna try again with Teiji Shimada-san. Oh, I can hear something. I think I hear you. Teiji?
Ready?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, hold.
I can hear you, but I don't see your face. 한솔님 좀만 기다려주세요. Please wait a little bit, 한솔, okay? Okay,
Yeah.
태지? 태지.
Yes.
Teji, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, all right, good. All right, so your connection's bad. So why don't you just turn off the video and we're just gonna have your like recording, like your voice.
No. Yeah. I
Yeah.
can join soon.
I think we can hear your voice, but we can't see
Yes.
you, but that's fine. So Teji, can you see the screen right now? Can you see
that's
the
okay.
passage?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I can see clearly. Yeah.
Okay, great. Then can you read the passage for us?
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I start.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah. You are watching the evening traffic updates on Channel 11. There has been a crash on Turnpike Avenue near Danes Boulevard, causing extreme rush hour traffic. It is reported that a large truck, a sedan, and a bus are involved in the accident. So it might take a while to clear out the roads.
Mm-hmm.
Drivers are advised to take a detour to avoid traffic.
Okay. Now, the only word I want you to work on was 11. Because 11, the stress goes on the
You're
second
watching
E.
evening traffic update? Okay.
On channel
11.
11.
Mm.
11. Okay,
Mm.
11. So make sure that you get the right
Then
stress.
level.
Uh-huh.
Level.
Overall, I can
Mm.
assure you your
Mm.
pronunciation is getting better and better. But the thing is about the linking, okay? English, we need to make the linking sounds. And when you want to make the linking
Linking.
sounds,
Mm.
you got to connect all the words
Mm.
together in a sentence, okay?
Mm.
So when you're reading the first sentence, let's say you're watching the evening traffic updates on
Yeah.
channel 11, okay? You don't have to speed up. You don't have to rush. But even if you're slow, you have to connect all the words. So it would sound something like this. You're watching the evening traffic updates on channel 11. Can you do
Yeah.
that?
Okay. You are watching the evening traffic updates on Channel 11.
Okay. What I'm saying again is, this happens with Koreans. They say, you're watching the evening traffic updates on channel 11, and they make the stops. But what I want you to do is I want you to be lazy. I want you to be like, sounding like you're drunk. Like, you're watching the evening traffic updates on channel 11, and link the sound. Try.
Yeah. Okay. You are watching evening traffic updates on Channel 11.
Okay. No, again, not 11. It's 11.
Mm.
11.
11.
Right.
11.
So when you're reading like a sentence, you shouldn't stop. You should link all the sounds, all the words. Now we're going to work on the last sentence. The last sentence is something like this. Drivers are advised to take a detour to avoid traffic. Okay? You got to finish it at once. Drivers are advised to take a detour to avoid traffic. Link all the words. Link all the sounds.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. A detour to avoid traffic.
Okay. But still, when I hear you, okay, now two words. For example, drivers are. When you link two words together, it's going to sound like drivers are. Drivers are. So S goes to A, so it sounds like drivers are.
Okay.
And then drivers are advised. Drivers are advised is the next linking. Drivers are advised to. Drivers are advised to. Advised to take a detour. Take a detour to avoid traffic. So everything is linked. This is what I'm saying. The words should be linked. there shouldn't be stops. So drivers are advised to take a detour to avoid traffic. Can you try?
Okay, I try.
Mhm.
Yes. Drivers are advised to take a detour to avoid traffic.
Much better. Great. That's what I'm saying.
Thank you.
Okay. So when you're reading, it's not only about the pronunciation, but it's also about the linking sounds. So you got to know how to link the words, like what I was doing.
Drinking, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well,
Yes.
Taeji, it was nice talking
Okay.
to you. Okay. And if you have more questions, just send me a Kakao message and I will be more than glad to help you out. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for joining.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes. Well, let me say. 잘 지냈어요?
아,
Okay.
잘
오케이.
지냈어요. 잘 지냈어요. 잘 지냈어요. 네. 아리가또. Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, great.
All right.
Okay, I'll
Okay,
talk
so-
to you on Kakao.
okay.
Okay.
누룩하무삼.
감사합니다. 너무
누룩 감사합니다.
감사합니다. Yes. 너무 감사합니다. 네. Oh, okay. Now, Taeji, we're going to have the next person come in,
Okay.
and that's going to be Hansul. All right?
Okay. Okay. 안녕.
안녕. Bye-bye. All right, 한솔님. Han Solo, we're gonna have you come in. Okay.
안녕.
안녕.
Bye-bye.
I think the connection from Japan today is a little bit slow. That's why, yeah. We have like a full signal for the internet in Korea right now, but Han Solo, we have sent you an email so that you can check. You can check the invitation. Oh, he's here. Good evening.
Yeah.
Yes,
Hello.
welcome to the show. Okay, so do you think you can describe a picture today for us?
Yes. why not?
Okay, so Hanso, it's the first time to be on the show, so could you please introduce yourself a little bit?
Hello guys. This is Hansel,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm preparing to hire a job.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so I'm here to practice English.
Okay, so what is your goal level or goal score? What do you want to get?
Go school. Over 180.
What
My
what
goal, yeah.
what's your goal? 180?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So let me see if you could get it. Like, we're going to describe the picture that you see on the screen, okay? And I'm going to give you 30 seconds.
Right.
Once the timer begins, please start. Mm-hmm.
This is picture taken in a living room. There is only one person in this picture. In the middle of the picture, I can see a man reading a book, and he's wearing blue shirt and jeans, and he has a short hair. And in the background of the picture, I can see a kitchen counter, and there are some kitchen tools on the table. In the foreground of the picture, I can see a big sofa, which is gray.
Okay. Wow. You know what? Your answer was good. Actually, I think you could achieve your goal. But I'm going to test you with another part, which is part 5. Okay? So we're going to switch the slide to part 5. And actually, what you said for this picture, okay, we're going to go on to last question. What you said about the picture, actually, there was nothing that I would fix. But when you say in the background, I hope you understand that preposition is in the background. Okay? Not anything else. All right. Because you spoke too fast, I sort of missed it. Hansol, are you still there? Oh my God. I was going to ask you another part. He left. Okay, can you click that link again? Hansolo, when you click that link again, you can re-enter the meeting room because we're not done. I didn't give you my feedback. I was like, about to give you my feedback. Oh, we lost Hansol. Oh, okay. All right. Well, if we lost 한솔로, then we're gonna move on to 견이곽. 견이? Oh, 한솔's back. Sorry, 한솔's back. All right. You back?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now, I thought like part 2, the description for picture was great. And I think you're eligible to get level 7, which is like advanced, low or intermediate high. But let's work on the last part. This is a question for the last part.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to speak for 1 minute, and I want to see how well you could do with the free speaking. So, do you prefer to keep your old clothes or books that you don't use anymore instead of getting rid of them? Okay, we're gonna start right away. Go.
I prefer to keep my old clothes or books that I don't use anymore, because I keep my old clothes in my storage for sharing sharing someday with people who need them.
Uh-huh.
So I've okay. I forgot everything.
Okay.
I don't have any idea, but okay, I'll try that again.
Uh-huh.
Cause I want to share my things for them. Cause for example, developed countries people they need something from us. So just I really want to share my things if I can help them. So I still keep them all in my storage room. Someday I will.
Okay. You know what, guys? If you're still watching, this was a great example of like what people ask me all the time. People ask me, Hansor, all the time, like, I made a mistake and in the middle I sort of like restarted my answer, and is it okay? Are they going to deduct any score or points from my score? And I would say, Hansor, the later part of your answer was good. You developed a good answer even during the last like 30 seconds of your answer. So that was quite good. And I would give you advanced low for that answer. Okay. But the only thing is, like during the beginning part, you should have done better. You know that, right? So I think you need to do a little bit more practice before the actual test. So you wouldn't be nervous and you wouldn't make the same mistake during the test. But overall, I think you're eligible to get advanced low or maybe advanced mid for the test, which is like high level 7. That was pretty good.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you.
So take more mock test, take more actual test on my channel, and like try to practice more. And I'm pretty sure you will get what you're like aiming for in on the next test. Okay.
Thank you. I always appreciate you because I even know too late. I think because just a week ago I found your YouTube channel in this place, so it is really honor and
Okay. Well, it's my honor to have spoken to you and talk about your like TOEIC speaking score. Okay. And always when you leave comments, I read them, I give replies. So just leave any questions that you have. Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right. Nice talking to you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, now next person on the list is Gunny Guak. Yeah, Gunny, we're gonna talk to you this time. And guys, notice how like I make you like do like some other like parts if like necessary, because I can test you on like I can't like know your overall like level just by testing you on one part. So Connie Kwak, we sent you an email, and when you check the email, there's a link, and when you click the link, you'll be entering the meeting room. So go check your email, click the link, and please enter the meeting room. And when I was talking to Han, it seemed like he was very like easy. He felt quite comfortable, not like all fluent, but he felt quite comfortable communicating in English, and he was able to put his like opinions and words like whatever he was trying to say in words, like in proper orders. And sometimes he had some problem like developing sentences, but still overall he had good communication skills. So that is why I thought, like I would say that he would achieve advanced low, which is around like high 7 level on TOEIC speaking. Okay. And we're still waiting for Gunny Kwak, and when she enters, or when he enters, I'm gonna have him or her do part 2, the second picture. Okay, second picture of part 2. So Gani, again, please go check your email and click the link and you'll be entering this meeting room. I'm still waiting. It takes some time to do this. It's a little frustrating to wait, right? You don't know like whether the person got the email or whether he left or she left. We're still here. Gani, are you still there? I hope you are. Because if not, we're gonna have to move on to Anne Nguyen. And if you're there, you're next in the line. So Anne Nguyen from Vietnam, I believe, okay, is next in line. All right, and we sent you an invite, and the address is Chang Trek Hong Viet. Yeah. It's a long email. Oh, but it doesn't exist. They say it doesn't exist. So is it Gmail? Yeah, we're going to try Gmail, okay? At gmail.com. Okay, Anne, we're sending you the email address. Okay, so it's either Gani or Anne who's going to be coming up next. Okay, so I think it's like past 10, so some people have already left. Maybe that's why. Okay. It's not there. What about Emily? Oh, okay, Anne, you here? Oh,
Okay, yes. Can you hear me clearly?
I can hear you clearly and loudly. All right, so Anne, is it how I should call you? Is it the proper way of saying your name? Is it on?
Okay, I'm listening to two of your voices.
Huh?
Uh,
I think you should like turn
Oh.
on one of them. Yeah,
Okay.
turn off. Okay. So can you hear me now? Can you hear only one of me?
okay, what should I turn on?
Either one, I think.
Okay, can you ask me again?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Okay, yes, now.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
The question is, how should I pronounce your name?
Just Anne.
Oh, it's just
Anne.
Anne.
Yes,
Okay.
okay, so I'm Anne. I'm from Vietnam, and I'm 10 years old. And I'm about to take the speaking and writing test next month. Yes.
Okay.
So
Great.
I'm a little bit nervous, but I think I will do just fine.
You know what?
I think.
You don't sound any bit nervous. You sound just confident. You sound really confident. That's good. So, how did you learn your English?
Okay, so how did I learn? Let's see. I just learned. I have to graduate from my high school, so
Mhm.
I need TOEIC tests. I need TOEIC certificates.
Okay, so you haven't graduated high school yet.
Oops, my bad. College.
Okay,
Not high
college. I was like, okay, high school or college? Okay, you haven't graduated college
Yes.
yet. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Now, it does sound like you're already too fluent, but let's see if you could do well on this part, okay? So I'm going to give you 30 seconds and share with us your answer. All right, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, go.
This is a picture taken outside, and there's many people in this picture. In the middle of this picture, I can see two men, and one of them is sitting on a stool, and he's wearing a black suit, and he's getting his shoes polished. And next to him, there's another man who's wearing a hat, and he's polishing shoes. And in the background, I can see many people are walking, and overall, I think they are having a great time together.
Wow. You know what, Anne? I think you're one of like the top speakers of my channel. Your English is really good.
Oh, really? You think so?
Yeah, I think so. You can speak really fast, fluently, and at the same time, your grammar is near perfect. You speak good grammar, good pronunciation. But
Oh my gosh, it's because of you. I saw a lot of your
Really?
videos. You know, I saw every your videos.
Oh, really?
So
oh
yes,
my
everything.
gosh,
Yes.
that's so exciting. You know, but from time to time, of course, this happens with Koreans, Japanese, like from people from Taiwan, and even from people from Vietnam. Sometimes your mother tongue language does like have interference with the pronunciation, but I find it no problem to understand what you're saying. So I think that's totally fine. But if you could speak a little bit slower, maybe it could help. Okay. But your
Yes.
English is amazing. I'm amazed, really.
Yes, I'm just a little bit nervous,
Yeah.
so that's the reason why I'm speaking a little too fast.
Okay.
Yes.
But I can tell you're really confident, and I understand why you have the confidence because you really are confident in your English. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure you will achieve your goal. All right, way to go.
Yes. Okay.
Mhm. Well, I'll be seeing you around, okay? Maybe next month
Okay, so-
again.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Yes.
감사합니다.
감사합니다. Okay, well, that was great. Well, yeah, he was a very fluent speaker. He was able to describe almost everything in the picture, right? And he said things about like how he was getting his shoe polished and the guy was sitting on the stool. Oh, and one thing that I wanted to mention is that it wasn't next to the man, but it was rather in front of the man. I forgot to tell you that. Yeah, it isn't next to the man, but it's in front of the man, right? You know what I'm saying, right? So it's got to be in front of. Now, next person in line is Emily. And yeah, Emily, we sent you the email address, so you should be getting it. You should have the invitation. So just click on it and you should be able to enter. You should be able to enter the room. Emily, if you're still there. Yeah. Hope you are. Oh. Okay. If Emily comes up, I'm going to test her with part 3. Yeah. Well, you know, today, most of the speakers are so good. Most of the participants, I mean, all the participants are so good. I was amazed when Anne was speaking, really. So fluent. You know, you guys heard, he's been studying with my videos, watching my videos. I think it's taking a little bit of time for people to join today. I think it's because of the connection. We're going to wait a little bit longer, a little bit more for Emily. And if she doesn't show up, it's going to be Jungbin. Ooh, yes, Jungbin. We're sending you the invitation to your Gmail. Yeah, we sent you the email to the email invitation to your Gmail address. Okay, so Jungbin, go to your email inbox, check our email, and just click on that, like, you know, the link, and you should be joining the meeting room. It's about time for somebody to join. It's about time. It's about time, guys. It's like, I know it's past 10. It's already 10:15 in Korea. And for Friday nights, people have like dramas to watch. I know it's like the 불금 Friday night, but please. No Jungbin, no Emily. All right, then it's going to be Tay. A bunny cute at Gmail. Yeah. Tay. Okay. I'm trying to give, like, you know, chances to all the people on the list. Bunny cute. Tay. Okay. So we've sent out invitations to 3 people. And if none of you enter, I think I might have to just like close down the meeting room. Yeah. Emily, Jungbin, Tae, we're waiting. We're gonna wait for somebody.
Hello, hello.
Who is this?
Sorry.
Is this Emily?
Hi.
Hi. Hey, so we're back.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay, so for our viewers, could you please introduce yourself shortly?
Hi. My name is Tae
Mm-hmm.
from Japan.
Yes.
Yes. I'm running TOEIC speaking writing
Mm-hmm.
study.
Okay.
But yeah,
Yes.
but
Yes.
it's not going so well, so I'm gonna take a third time exam test
Okay.
next month. So hope something happen
Okay,
to me.
so-
That I just hope.
Ty, how have you been studying TOEIC speaking? I know you've been studying TOEIC speaking for a while. So recently, for the last 1 month, how have you been, like, you know, practicing?
Almost 6 months, 5 months, 6 months.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah.
For almost 5 months, 6 months. Okay. Now,
Because
have you
I think
been...
my vocabulary is poor, so that's why also with nervous and yeah.
You know what? I find no problem understanding you, like pronunciation-wise, but I think you're right about vocabulary. So
Vocabulary, also grammar.
yeah, or the but grammar is okay. It's just like moderate. So let me see what you can do with the questions, okay? So
Yeah.
on the screen, we see part 3 questions, and
Yeah.
this is the first question. So look at the screen. So when was the last time you visited a new city, and who did you go there with? 1, 2, 3, go.
I visited new city was Greece.
Mm-hmm.
I was went to with my husband.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very first place for me, and
Okay. All right. Now,
Yeah.
you're right about grammar. Okay. So when you are given a new question, you
Yeah.
have a hard time creating, sentences. So
Yeah.
what I suggest, I was thinking to ask you to do this, write down your answer. I think it's important to write down your answer.
okay.
Okay. So you need to check the grammar by writing down your answer, all the
Okay.
tenses. Like, for example, it was when was last time? So you would have to say, I visited. I visited.
Yeah,
Right?
hi.
I
Yes.
visited somewhere last month and I went there. It's not I go there, it's I went there with my husband.
I went to go there with my husband.
Not go there, but I went there.
I went there. Yeah,
Right.
I went.
Okay. So try to write your answer and try to use short sentences so that you don't make grammatical mistakes. You need to use correct grammar. You know that, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now we're going to try the second question. Here goes the second one.
Yeah.
When you visit a new city, would you prefer to stay at a hotel or find a place where you could stay with your friends and family? 1, 2, 3, go.
I prefer to stay at the hotel because this is very convenient. I don't have to worry about time to time
Mhm.
with the family, and then I can see more.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So remember, Tay, work on short sentences. Short sentences. Those are the two things that I
Okay.
want you to practice on. You need to
Yes.
write down your answer so that you can check your grammar.
I understand. Yeah,
Okay.
I will.
All right. So
Very much.
next month, if I can get to see you, I hope that I can hear some of the answers that you have worked on.
Okay, thank you.
All right. See you next month.
you very much,
Thank you for
teacher.
joining. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. All right. So everybody, that was, I think, the last participant of the meeting. All right. So now back to the original YouTube. What's going to happen next month? Okay. So in March, let me check the calendar. I want to check the calendar. Okay. So the last Friday of March, I think we're going to have the show on the 24th. Yes, let's make it 24th. Not the 31st, but the 24th. Okay. So on March 24th, I'll be meeting you guys again. And same thing's going to happen. We're going to have a live feedback session where you guys can participate. And like today, we're going to have you come into the meeting show if you wish to. And I'm going to give you feedback through the live session. But before you do, I hope you take the test, okay? Because we upload the test a day or 2 days before the live show. You can take the test, you can have a look at it, you can work on your answers, and you can share a better answer during the show. So I think it would be helpful for you to take the test. And also, a lot of you are working on getting higher score. And in order to achieve higher score, whenever I meet new students, I always tell them, I have to tell them that pronunciation, speaking clearly and loudly and with a bigger mouth is very important, guys. So make sure to speak slower, not slowly, like what Julia did at first, but slower than what you guys are doing, because I'm pretty sure, especially for part 1, you guys are reading too fast, okay? Now, I told you again, March 24th, Friday, is going to be the next show, and I'll see you in March. Thank you for participating. Bye-bye. Is it this?